cries over the Colosseum that it's broken down, right? The Colosseum, there's more left of the Colosseum than the temple of Hagalov of the base of Mikdash. You go to Greece, and what's the Acropolis? What's the Acropolis? What's that? Acropolis. Yeah. You see that? I don't know how it's not in such great condition, right? But how many people go there to cry? Right? The people who should be crying, the Greeks, the old Greeks, they're gone, right? And the old Romans, they're gone. So of course there's no one there to cry, right? So we don't have a base of Mikdash, right? But we're still around and we cry, right? That's one of the reasons why on Tisha B'Av we put on talis and tefillin at the tzos. We're allowed to put on talis and tefillin. Why? Because at that point the fire came out on into the base of Mikdash. That wasn't ignited, right? And the base of Mikdash started to burn. So you think so we're already getting in the Chama. What the question is, what kind of consolation is that? The consolation is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the decision, right? It was a decision between Klal Yisrael and the base of Mikdash, right? So when the decision was finally made, it was going to be the base of Mikdash, right? That's a consolation that we still have mitzvahs. We still can put on talis, we can put on tefillin. We're still doing what our forefathers did and what HaKadosh Baruch Hu told us to do with our Sinai. That's a big consolation for us. Meaning, it could be there down in the old city. What would be with us if we had a half a base of Mikdash still standing there, and if we wasn't around? What would that be? Still, there would be a big tourist spot. What do we need from that? We want to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're alive. Klal Yisrael is still serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's much different than what it used to be, right? But it's something that we have a nechama. We can put on talis and tefillin. Right? We put on talis and tefillin, and we can get up off the ground. We can sit on the chairs half the day after the fire broke out in the base of Mikdash, because the decision was made. It wasn't. The Medrash says that at the time when the enemies entered the base of Mikdash, there was 600,000 malachim that were poised and ready to attack those who were about to destroy the base of Mikdash. 600,000 angels, malachim, right? Spiritual forces that were ready to attack those who were going to destroy the base of Mikdash. Kadosh Baruch Hu see that Klal Yisrael didn't do tshuva, right? So they saw that the Shekhinah had moved, right, away from the base of Mikdash. So they moved away with the base with the Shekhinah as well, and the enemies came in and destroyed the base of Mikdash. Started to destroy the base of Mikdash. But up until the very last moment, had we done tshuva, everything, the base of Mikdash would have been stood, the enemies would have been destroyed. Happened before, right? Sennacherib came with his army, and they were about to destroy Yerushalayim, right? They said, "This is such a small city. We'll all take our rings off and throw a piece of dirt at Yerushalayim, and we'll bury it in the morning. Let's sleep tonight." They never woke up the next morning. Hashem took care of them. Hashem wants to take care of our enemies. He can take care of our enemies. It's dependent upon our tshuva. So, Rav Simcha Zissel here, the Alter Mikelem, says that we have to cry about our averos, our sins. Because what Nebuchadnezzar did to the first base of Mikdash, and what Titus did to the second base of Mikdash, as Chazal say, they broke a broken building. Right? The physical aspect of the base of Mikdash was still there, but all the spirituality that kept it intact was gone. The Chavetz Chaim says in his Sefer, it's a contrast actually on Tzapel Yeshua, that there was a purpose for the base of Mikdash, Kol Zman, the whole time that Klal Yisrael were serving Kadosh Baruch Hu on a Madrega of Lishma. I mean, they wanted to serve Kadosh Baruch Hu honestly in a way that they could fulfill the will of Kadosh Baruch Hu in order to please Hashem, not to do things Shalol Lishma, things that take away from the actual mitzvah that we're doing. When we lost our ability to do mitzvahs L'Shem Shamayim, so the base of Mikdash and also Eretz Yisrael, as the Chavetz Chaim explains, lost their meaning, lost their purpose. I mean, if we are own, serving Kadosh Baruch Hu properly. So then if there's a base of Mikdash, if there's Eretz Israel, then all these things are siyuas. They enable us to serve Kadosh Baruch Hu even better. The Haggadah Shel Pesach says after the Dayanus, it repeats the whole list, and it says an addition after the Dayanus, right? And we have the base of Mikdash, and that's the place where we were able to have a kapara for our sins. Right? That we didn't mention in the Dayanus, but in the repetition at the end, the paragraph that repeats all the Dayanus is an addition. The base of Mikdash was the place where we can come and have a kapara for our sins. We can become clean, as the Chazal say, there was never a person that came to Yerushalayim, right? And he didn't come clean because everyone was able to have a kapara for his affairs. That was the whole purpose and of the base of Mikdash, bringing the korbanos. When these things, it wasn't going to be a purpose for the base of Mikdash, meaning we were only doing things mitzvahs anashim l'mada. We're doing mitzvahs automatically, out of rote, out of habit. Meaning, people were doing mitzvahs not because they really wanted to, because it was a social necessity. We do mitzvahs because it's a social necessity, right? So Kadosh Baruch Hu don't want that, right? Kadosh Baruch Hu wants the heart, right? He doesn't want. Pasuk says, Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want our karbanos. He wants our hearts. Right? A carbon doesn't mean much if there's no heart behind it. Right? We're just bringing carbon because we have to do it. That doesn't mean much to Kadosh Baruch Hu. So the base of Mikdash in Eretz Israel calls on that we were able to serve Kadosh Baruch Hu properly. The Chafetz Chaim explains. So Eretz Israel, the base of Mikdash, and everything else had its purpose, and it allowed us, enabled us to serve Hashem even better. But when we weren't doing that, so it was time to go with the Golos. The first base of Mikdash was destroyed, as Alan in Yuma says, because of Shvikas Damim, Gili Arias, and Avodah Zorah. The first base. The second base of Mikdash was because of Sinas Chinam. So you see that Sinas Chinam can do what all three of the cardinal Averas can also do. The Gemara also explains, because I'll also explain, that had we learned Torah at the time of the base of Mikdash, right? Kadosh Baruch Hu would overlook the Gili Arias, Srikas Damim, and Avodah Zorah. Chanan Wasserman brings a mashal to explain it. It explains that if you have two armies at war, two countries at war, as long as the armies have ammunition and guns, so the war can continue. But if you de-arm, you take your enemy's arms away from him, his ammunition, his guns away from him, his sword of him, he has to give up. He has nothing to fight with. So the whole time that we had the learning of Torah, so even though there was Gili Arias, Srikas Damim, and Avodah Zorah, the first base of Mikdash, if we had Torah, if we were learning Torah properly, right, Kadosh Baruch Hu would have overlooked it, because you hadn't taken our ammunition, you haven't taken our guns away, you haven't taken our protection away from us. We still have protection against all the other Averas, because Torah has the ability to protect us from all the Averas. Another mashal was given in the same to explain the same chazal, that there was a king, and he had a fellow in his court who used to play piano for him. He was the court piano player. And there was a rebellion against the king, and the piano player was involved with the rebellion. And the rebellion was put down, everyone got caught, everyone got executed, but the piano player didn't get executed. Why? Because the king loved the way he played piano. So this piano player was so good that the king was overlooked the rebellious attitude and actions, behavior of this piano player, and he allowed him to live. Put him back into his place, played the piano. The king was happy, the piano player was very happy. Right? It wasn't all the other guys there lying with their heads off. One day the piano player says he wants to retire, he's tired of this. So he retires. He says he gives his resignation to the king. As he's walking out, the king tells one of his guards to chop his head off. Why did he chop his head off? The only keep us, as long as he was playing the piano, he had a purpose, right? The king allowed him to live, right? Klal Yisrael the same way, right? As long as we learn Torah, which is, when we talk about karbonis, a reik nikoya, we give a pleasing scent, so to speak, in Ruchnis and Gashmis to Kadosh Baruch Hu, something that pleases the Kadosh Baruch Hu very much. Karbonis do that. There's nothing better than the Torah that we learn. That's the most pleasing thing that Kadosh Baruch Hu actually wants. So Paul's man that we're learning, so even those Shrikas Dummy and Gili Rayas and Avodah Zorah, so okay, but if they're learning, we'll allow them to